We all knew it was going to happen. CGC is raising their price to $15 a card. Still a very affordable price, but it's happening. There's still a little bit of time. If you're watching this video, I'm recording it April 21st, 2021. This policy takes effect April 28th, 2021. So you have 7 days between the recording of this video and when this policy takes effect to get your cards into CGC if you're waiting to get them in. I personally am on the fence about this. I haven't been super over the moon about CGC's service, their product. I've had cards sitting at CGC for a long time, way past the window in which they were supposed to be graded. And it was my first CGC submission because I wanted to test them out. I heard a lot of people talking about CGC and the cards seem to be doing okay on the secondary market. People seem to be accepting them as a card grading service. So I threw a bulk box together, I think 100 or 200 cards, something like that, and I sent it off to CGC. And they've been sitting there for a long, long time with no hint that they're next in line or they're going to be graded anytime soon. So I don't know how I feel about sending any more cards off to CGC with their turnaround times. And what's stated on their website is not being updated. It doesn't reflect reality, which is another thing that makes me nervous. I'm not really trying to talk too harshly about CGC because they have been in the grading card world for a long time. More specifically, they've been in the grading world for a long time, the comics world. They're a well-known, respected comic book grading service. So I'm not trying to let on that like they're stealing people's cards or anything like that. It just makes me nervous having cards sit there for such a long time, no update, no communication, and add that to the fact that CGC grades they're not the market premium. They're not PSA. They're not Beckett. Before I make any enemies, I'll stop talking badly about CGC because I'm not trying to. I know there's a lot of YouTubers and there's people out there who really love CGC, and that's okay. I get it. Just my personal experience with them has not been what I hoped. Let's put it that way. The prices are going up to $15 a card. Like I said, it's still very affordable. It's better than PSA's $20 a card. Whether or not, maybe we can have a discussion about in the comments section down below. How do you feel about this? Do you feel like CGC, their brand, commands that premium? I was comfortable at $8. I could even see $10, but moving it up to $15, I'm not sure if the price that a CGC card fetches on the market as compared to a PSA card, I'm not sure if you can really justify $15, $5 less than PSA. For $5 more, you can get that PSA card. You can get a bulk card graded PSA and fetch a significantly higher premium. And even if it's not an argument of premium, I would argue that PSA graded cards are substantially more liquid than CGC graded cards. I have no facts. I have no data to say that opinion. This is my personal opinion and how I read the market. It could be wrong, and I'm okay with that. I hope I'm wrong. Like I said, I've got a bunch of cards at CGC, so hopefully that's not the case. But I think everybody knew it was going to happen. It was only a matter of time with the mountain, the wave, the typhlosion. What's the thing called that goes into Japan? Not the tidal wave. Whatever. With a lot of cards being sent off to be graded nowadays, it was only a matter of time before CGC was going to raise their price. Maybe not necessarily to take advantage of people, but because I'm sure their overhead is going up as well. They probably have to expand facilities. They have to get more graders. They have to get more slabbing machines. So it's understandable. I'm on the fence as to how I feel about it. It just makes me nervous because CGC cards and the price that they fetch on the secondary market, I'm not sure if it really justifies $15 a card. I will say this about CGC. They have established themselves as a really recognizable brand in the comic books community. So there's really nothing stopping them from doing the same in the card collecting community. I don't I don't want to turn this into such a negative thing, but their label is not as pretty to me as the PSA label. I think the PSA label has more eye appeal. It's more catching. It's more aesthetically pleasing. But they seem to be doing good. You know, a CGC 10 is a coveted grade. They grade their 10s harshly, and every sign points to them being even harsher at grading than PSA. A lot of cards have slipped through PSA and gotten 10s, and they have been questionable cards. Cards that if you sent them in today to PSA, you'd probably be fingers crossed on a 9. And you know, you have cards like that floating out in the market, and it does kind of screw with card prices. You have base shadowless first ed Charizards at PSA 10 floating out there in the market that look like, oh boy, that looks like a PSA 9. And it does mess with the market price of the card overall. So I guess now's the time. You know, if CGC wants to step up and they want to take some major market share away from PSA, now's the time. The market's primed. PSA is not accepting any more submissions, which is great news for CGC, but they need to get their cards back into people's hands. And I've been on the CGC board many times, and the forums are just littered with people saying, hey man, I sent my card in, super express, ultra fast, walk it through the door, drive it to my house, put it in my pocket, delivery service for $1 gajillion a card, and it's been sitting there for 12 months. What's the deal? And I can definitely empathize with that state of mind. Let me know how you feel in the comments down below about CGC raising their price to $15 a card. I, for one, am not a huge fan, as you would expect. As somebody who gets cards graded and sells them, I obviously would like to do that at a very low price. But I can understand from a business standpoint where they're coming from and how they justify this increased expense. If you've made it this far in the video, thanks. That's incredible. Consider hitting the subscribe button. Consider hitting the like button. It really gives me the motivation that I need to continue making videos. And as always, I will catch you next time.